This video will give you a brief overview of the basics of photo editing. Depending on the type of device you upload your photos to, you may have the option to edit the photos straight from the platform from which they were uploaded. However, in most cases, a photo editing app will need to be used to complete basic editing techniques. The following is a list of free photo editing apps that can be used in a browser and don't require downloading. There's Pixlr, which is the program that will be used in this tutorial, Photor, Canva, Photopea, Google Photos, and many more. You just have to look for them. Pixlr is a photo editing program that is available online for anyone to access. The program supports a diverse range of editing tools that are simple enough to be used by beginners while still achieving professional level results. No membership or subscription is required, and there is no limit on how many photos you can edit and download. It can be accessed at the following link. Before you edit, keep in mind that when you take photos of your artwork, it is important to make sure that your camera settings are filter-free. Editing an untouched or raw photo is easier than editing one that has layers of filters over top of it. Filters can be a useful editing tool, but it's best to stick to the basics when submitting photos of artwork in an online submission format. Before you can edit your photo, you have to upload it to the Pixlr program. To do this, you open Pixlr, select a photo file from your device, and click Upload. After you upload a photo to Pixlr, it may show up sideways or upside down depending on the size of the photo. To correct this, select Page from the top menu, scroll down to Page Rotation, and then select the correct adjustment maneuver. To adjust the size of your photo, select the Crop function. Drag and reposition the borders of your photo to attain the desired size. To lock the new size in place, select Apply. To revert the photo back to its original size, select Reset. After we've adjusted and cropped our image, we can now start editing. On a basic level, there are three main categories worth looking at while editing, and each category contains various subcategories. The three main categories covered in the following slides are color, lighting, and detail. One question you want to ask yourself before using editing tools that manipulate color is, do the colors captured in the photograph match the actual colors of your artwork? If the answer is yes, it is best to stay away from those tools and move on to the other tools. If the answer is no, you may want to adjust the colors using the following tools. The first tool talked about here is vibrance. Adjusting the vibrance either increases or decreases the vibrancy of color in a photo. On Pixlr, this tool and other color tools can be found under Adjustment. To decrease the vibrancy, drag the tool to the left. To increase the vibrancy, drag the tool to the right. The next color tool we're going to look at is Hue and Saturation. Adjusting the hue of a photo allows you to balance the primary colors within the photo. Adjusting the saturation of a photo allows you to change the depth and intensity of color. The more saturated an image is, the more colorful it will be. Less saturation will result in an image that is more subdued and muted. The final tool we're going to look at involves temperature and tint. Adjusting the temperature of a photo will enhance either the warm, yellow-toned, or cool, blue-toned colors in your photo. Adjusting the tint of a photo will give it a slight overlay of any selected color. Next, we'll move on to the lighting. After you have either made the decision to adjust the color of a photo or leave it be, the next editing element you should look at is lighting. Maintaining adequate lighting is an important step of the photo taking process. If there is too much light while a photo is being taken, the final image will be overexposed and lacking definition. If there is too little light while a photo is being taken, the final image will be underexposed and details will be lost in the darkness. If you find that your photo is overexposed or underexposed, you can adjust the lighting using the following tools. The first element of lighting we'll look at involves brightness and contrast. Adjusting the brightness of a photo changes the luminous brightness of the image by increasing or decreasing the intensity of the overall brightness. Adjusting the contrast of a photo will change the visual ratio of the different tones in the image. High contrast images are rich in texture, highlights, shadows, colors, and clarity. Low contrast photos tend to be the opposite. Next, we'll look at exposure. Adjusting the exposure of a photo will adjust the amount of light present in an image. Light-related errors made while photographing can be corrected using this tool. The final element of lighting we'll look at are highlights and shadows. By adjusting the highlights of a photo, you can enhance the lightest and brightest points of the image. Adjusting the shadows of a photo will enhance the darkest points of the image, making them more obvious and pronounced. Finally, we'll look at a few tools that can enhance the details of your photo. After making adjustments to the coloring and lighting of your photo, you have the option to further enhance the quality of the image. While these tools are not necessary, they can take your photo up a notch if used correctly and in moderation. The first detail tool we'll look at is sharpening. By sharpening your photo, you can increase the sharpness of an image in terms of both focus and contrast. Be sure to use this tool sparingly because if you use too much of it, it can look really shocking and jagged. The next tool is clarity, and by adjusting the clarity of your photos, you can increase the focus on midtones without altering the highlights or shadows in the image. The photo shown on the left is completely unedited, while the photo shown on the right has been enhanced using multiple editing tools. As you can see, the photo on the right is a lot nicer to look at, the colors are brighter, the beautiful dog stands out a bit more against the leaves, and overall it's just a nicer photo. In summary, editing is definitely your friend. Editing can make your photos more visually appealing, exciting to look at, and noteworthy during the online submission process.